Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. My name is Afi from F2G. I would like to begin with a quote that has stuck with me ever since I first read it, which is whether you think you can or you think you cannot, you are right. These words come from Henry Ford and they capture the essence of what we will explore today are the power of our mindset and how the way we think about ourselves and our abilities can either hold us back or move us forward. Let me tell you a quick story from my own life. A couple years ago, I decided to learn to play a guitar. I'd never touched one before, and my first attempts were, well, let's just say they sounded like torture cats. After 2 weeks of sore fingertips and discordant noise, I was ready to give up. I remember thinking, I'm just not musical, and this was a terrible idea. But then I accidentally read about something called a growth mindset. I realized that everyone starts as a beginner, that practice is medicine, and that failure is simply information and feedback on what to try next. I decided to stick with it. 6 months later, I was able playing simple songs. A year after that, I performed at a small open mic night in my secondary school. That experience taught me one of the most valuable lessons of my life. It wasn't that I lacked talent, but it was my thinking that needed changing. So today, I would like to share with you what mindset is, why is it matters, how you can shift yours, and what that shift might look like in your own life. So the first one, what is mindset? Mindset is simply our collection of beliefs and attitudes about ourselves and our abilities. Psychologist Carol Dweck, who popularized the concept, describes two major types, which are the fixed mindset. Belief abilities are fixed traits. You either have them or you don't. And the growth mindset belief abilities can be developed through effort, strategies, and help from others. Let me put it another way. If you have a fixed mindset, you might say, I'm just not good at math. But with a growth mindset, you say, I'm not good at math yet. Let me do some extra problems as a friend and see how far I can go. Carol Dweck's research with students shows those with a growth mindset not only perform better, but they also choose more challenging tasks and recover from setbacks more quickly. It's not mystical, but it's practical. So, why mindset is matters? Now you might wonder, does this really make a difference in the real world? Let me share 3 areas where mindset shows up. First, academic and learning. Students who believe intelligence can go score higher on tests and we are more resilient when they struggle. Next, sports and performance. Champions like Serena Williams and Michael B. Jordan consistently talk about putting in the work, embracing mistakes as learning steps, and trusting that effort breeds improvement. Lastly, careers and innovation. Entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and Sarah Blakely view failure as feedback. Their willingness to iterate, failing fast, learning, and trying again has driven back breakthrough in electric cars, spaceflight, and multi-million-dollar businesses. In every field, people who adopt a growth mindset will seek out challenges rather than avoiding them. Furthermore, they will treat efforts as the path to mastery. Next, learn from criticism instead of ignoring it. Last but not least, they will find lessons and inspirations in other success. The context is we actually should ask ourselves, when was the last time I avoided trying something new because I was afraid to look foolish? That fear usually stems from a fixed mindset voice in our head saying, better safe than sorry. But in doing so, we miss out on growth. So next, how to cultivate a growth mindset? Cultivating a growth mindset isn't a one and done workshop, but it is a practice. Here are 3 concrete steps. First, notice your self-talk. When you catch yourself saying, I cannot do this, add one small word, yet. Next, change. I'm terrible at presentation to I'm learning how to give effective presentations. Second, reframe failure as feedback. Like after a setback, you could say a project that didn't go as planned and ask, what can I learn from this? The important part is writing down at least one specific insight before moving on. The third concept is set learning goals, not just perform goals. Instead of I want an A in this course, aim for I want to master the underlying concepts so I can explain them to someone else. This keeps you focused on improvement rather than just the grade A. A bonus tip for you is surround yourself with growth mindset people. When you hear friends phrasing effort like you really work hard on that, it reinforces the same attitude in you. Examples in everyday life. Let's bring this home with 2 quick examples. Language learning. Imagine you are trying to learn Chinese. A fixed mindset student might quit after struggling with pronunciations. A growth mindset student records themselves, practices daily as a native speaker for tips, and celebrates each small improvement. Work projects. You launch a marketing campaign that underperforms. Instead of blaming the market or labeling it a failure, you gather data, tweak your approach, test a new headline, and try again. Over time, your conversation rates climb. In both cases, growth-minded individuals build a habit of continuous improvement. As I wrap up, I want to leave you 3 powerful reminders that can shape not just how you approach schoolwork or hobbies, but how you live your life. First, mindset isn't destiny. It is not something you are born with or stuck with. It's a choice, a decision, and it is a decision you make every single day, whether you realize it or not. You can choose to believe that your abilities are fixed, or you can choose to believe that you can learn, grow, and improve. That choice shapes everything. Second, small shifts lead to big results. Adding the word yet to your self-talk, reframing mistakes as feedback, setting learning goals. This may seem like small actions, but over time, they create massive changes in how you approach challenges, how you bounce back from setbacks, and how much you ultimately achieve. Growth is rarely loud and dramatic, it's quite steady and powerful. Third, last but not least, you are the author of your story. Your mindset is the pen. Every thought, every decision, every challenge you face is a chance to either write a story of fear and limitations, or a story of courage and growth. You get to decide how the next chapter unfolds. So, here's my challenge to you. Over the next week, Pick one area, maybe school, a sport, a project you are working on, or even a personal goal like learning something new, and apply what we have talked about today. Notice your self-thoughts, embrace effort, learn from mistakes. When you feel like giving up, pause and ask yourself, what would someone with a growth mindset do right now? Keep a journal. If you can, write down your yet moments, reflect on what you are learning from setbacks and what's changing in your mindset. Because in the end, success isn't just about talent, it's about perseverance, it's about resilience, and most of all, it's about mindset. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you walk away today feeling a little more empowered to take on challenges, believe in yourself, and keep growing. You've got this. Thank you.